Hello Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, International Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, let me tell you a little bit about my videos. Each video actually has two readings, a love reading to start, and then I do a more general reading second. And sometimes the love energies are very, very strong and they carry over into the general. So sometimes it's kind of like you get two love readings. So be sure to stay tuned for that if that's something that you're interested in. I've been shuffling here for a few moments, or for a few minutes, and I'll continue to do so for a few more. If you have any questions or are interested in your own reading, I do put my contact information in the description box down below, so feel free to do that if you're interested. And I think I'm feeling about ready. Just one more, and then we'll be good to go. The Sagittarius love reading for December 2015. Nine of Wands, Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, the Hermit, the World, the King of Cups, Page of Wands, Four of Cups, and the King of Swords. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see here. Right off the bat, I'm seeing the presence of three individuals. The Queen of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the King of Swords, all in a row. Sagittarius, I feel as though this King of Cups here in the center is you. This is your energy here. A master of your emotion, being in control of the way you feel, but still a very romantic person. And you are Sagittarius. You know, everybody loves you. And I see you being sandwiched by two people. Queen of Pentacles, potentially an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Someone who is quite lovely, well-grounded, smart, nurturing, kind, maybe not the most romantic person, but still very productive, a very quality individual. And your King of Swords, also a very quality individual, someone who is very intelligent, very smart, worldly perhaps, someone that is sharp-minded, and someone that you potentially have a very strong intellectual connection with. And they both seem to be very focused on you. You have your Queen directly above you. Sorry, I know you can't really see it. I'll do my best. Directly above you, looking down at you. And you have your King of Swords directly below you, but their sword is pointing directly up towards you. And where are you looking? You're looking out. You aren't necessarily looking at one or the other. You may be focused on balancing yourself a little bit. keeping yourself grounded, keeping yourself emotionally stable, not getting too involved. You know, this King of Cups isn't being immediately followed by the Page of Wands, which is a fire-like energy, which you are. Um, you know, you are adventurous, you are outgoing, you are an action-oriented person, you're very social, you take next steps, you're very productive, you make things happen. And I feel as though while you are being represented as the king here in a love romantic capacity in your life, you might be feeling as though you are this sprite young, you know, person that has a lot to still explore, and that when you are looking at the world, which I'm going to put this card here because here you are looking at the world. When you are looking at the world, you're realizing how much there is left to experience, how much there is in this lifetime that you wish to explore and to be a part of. And you know, you're feeling like a kid in a candy shop, you know, like, take me to the next place, let's go here, let's go there, let's, you know, you're a Sagittarius, you are very active, you move forward, you make decisions quickly, and you are a little bit non-committal. Let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. You are difficult to lock down. A very quality person, the person, you know, that a lot of people like. You are very romantic, you're very genuine at heart, you're very sweet, very kind, but you're a little bit slippery. You are a little bit slippery. And it seems to me, though, that there will be some level of emotional disengagement. And it may be, well, let me think about this for just a moment. So let me just change pages for just 1 second. So here you have the Hermit, the process of introspection, of retreating and pulling yourself in and going through a process of understanding and a process of like reevaluating where you are, where you're going, what you want, what your hopes and dreams actually are, and coming to a level of wisdom about your life, about the life of others, about what this whole world is even about. You know, you are right, you know, this hermit is right next to the world. So just, and when I'm saying the world, I'm actually meaning the world. And this world can oftentimes represent, you know, coming full circle, a full completion of an era or a phase in your life, having all the understanding, all the knowledge, and only through this hermit, only through this process of retreat and pulling in and thinking about things, I guess, only through that process can we then light the way into having the world and having everything we want and coming to that full understanding of whatever it is, full understanding of life. And you might be very anxious, you know, as this Page of Wands, as this fire sign, as the Sagittarius, you might be very anxious to move this process along. However, it is a process that must come in time. It takes time to come to that. And you are seeking a level of clarity. You are, or you might be coming to a level of clarity. Actually, this came after. This hermit, you know, maybe you have found the clarity that you seek, that you are victorious over your own life, your own world, and things are finally coming to light. Things are finally coming to a place where you truly understand them. You're truly understanding your purpose, your path. You know, you're not just aimlessly going from one place to another, from one person to another, especially in a love capacity. You're not just, you know, flitting about doing your thing anymore. Things are maybe stabilizing a little bit for you. Things are maturing, and you're coming into this new realm that might be a little bit unexplored for you, but it's a time that where things finally start to make sense and things finally start to have purpose. You know, you may have been a little bit like I don't want to use the word defensive, but that's the only word that's really coming to mind right now. You know, you have the things that you've built, the things that you've been working for, the things that you have achieved, and you are protecting those experiences, those things, and rightfully so. You know, they were hard earned. You worked for those. They are blossoming. They are proving fruitful. They're, you know, a part of your life, a part of your world. They are good things, and you are protecting that. And you might be protecting your heart a little bit as well. You know, when we are so just like out there and having a good time, you know, we do build walls around our hearts. We do put up those barriers around our emotions, and sometimes, you know, we just don't want anyone to penetrate those. And you might be coming to a point of clarity, of understanding. I don't necessarily see you doing this quite yet, but where you might be deciding to open your heart, open up your world, and let someone in. And that could be, you know, this process is something that you're considering, something that you're thinking about during this hermit process. I am sensing this level of emotional disengagement. You know, these cards actually go pretty well together. Here you are protecting your heart, defending it, putting up walls and barriers and not letting anyone penetrate. But you know, you are being presented with with offers. You know, these are your cups. These are good things. These are emotionally fulfilling things. And you have remained disengaged. You have remained disinterested and even somewhat bored of that. You know, it's possible you have these two quality individuals here, both interested in you, both potentially great matches for you. But yet you are still putting up these barriers. You are still not letting them in. You know, your world is starting to make sense with this clarity. You know, this sword is sort of projecting down into your world, and this world is starting to make a lot more sense to you. You are developing more of a purpose in your life. But you might still not quite be there yet. Now, something else is kind of coming to light. I'm trying to see if it makes sense or not. I've been kind of looking at the, you know, this is coming down here, and here you have your Queen of Pentacles here, and here you have, you know, kind of a defensive heart, and you're going through this process of this, you know, it's kind of like a vertical. But when I look at it horizontally, I'm kind of seeing two little mini stories, if you will, in regards to these two individuals. I see in this top row, I'll hold them up like this so you can see. You know, here you have your Nine of Wands, that protection, that defending, you know, your master of your domain. You are protecting everything that you've built and everything that you've done, and that includes that barrier for your heart. But during this clarity, this mental victory, this new idea, this new way of thinking that sort of comes into your life. And again, these aces are prominent. They're strong. They do hit us like lightning almost. You know, you're aware of that you're kind of coming to a new understanding. It's not like this, you know, thing that's hidden in the subconscious by any means. It's something that you're very much aware of. And it could be in regard to this queen energy, this earth sign energy, a new way of thinking about them, a new interest or a new level of engagement with them. Not necessarily in the most romantic capacity. I'm not seeing a lot of like love and romance and like strong sexuality and passion or anything like that. It's just more your understanding, more you, Sagittarius, coming to this level of clarity and kind of dealing with some barriers and roadblocks that you've set. Now, when I look at this row horizontally, again, this Page of Wands I see representing you and your energy, and you have this emotional disengagement. Here you have another quality person, another quality prospect, and for some reason, you know, you are looking at them. You are, but again, you are remaining disengaged. You are remaining emotionally unattached, and you are interested in them. But you are interested in them, but you're just not opening your heart. So I'm not seeing, you know, I'm not really seeing like you being torn or having an internal. It's just more you're a little bit shut down. You're a little bit demotivated to move into a new phase, a little bit too self-involved, a little too introverted, a little too introspective right now for you to really have room in your world, room in your life for a new presence that is as strong and promising as either one of these. I feel as though you have strong connections with either person. And you know, if you're in a relationship, this could be, you know, either someone new or even someone in a work capacity. And, you know, one of these may represent your partner. This may speak to you in that way. Or it could even be representing the same energy. Both of these are your partners, and there's two different sides to them, two different levels, two different you know, energies that they may be displaying at the same time, because these energies are very different, and it could be indicative of your partner, one and of the same. However, if you're single, I do see them as two separate energies. You know, a more nurturing, more caring, more productive type person, and this one may be a little bit more intellectual, more well versed in the ways of the world. You know, so different, very different. Even just the looks of the cards are very, very different. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull your outcome card. It's just a very interesting reading. I like when I get fun ones, interesting ones. person, your Queen of Cups, another court card. I'm getting the sense that this is what you have in mind for a potential partner. So you might not be ready for a potential partner. You might not be opening up to that idea quite yet. But I see you looking in the direction of this person, and she is looking back at you, or he or she, this person is looking back at you. You are together. You are the King and Queen of Cups. You are a perfect match. And you might have such an incredible ideal for your idea of a partner, such a high standard of perfection, that while you are being presented with two quality individuals, just as much quality as this person, but different. That you are remaining emotionally unattached, emotionally disengaged, and not moving forward with either one, not moving forward or making a decision or feeling confident in that path with either individual, because you are holding out for this ideal. This person, this idea of a person that you have in your mind, is what will make your world complete. I mean, even see here, you know, both of you, both of your energies are looking toward this, and you have an almost impossible ideal for what you think your partner should be, and what you think you do deserve it. We all deserve what we want. However, you have two people here that are the best of what they are, the best of what they represent, the best of what they can bring to the table, and yet you aren't satisfied with them because you have in your mind the idea of this. That's very interesting. A lot of people in this reading for you, my goodness. A lot of people. So, okay, what I'm going to do is turn off the camera, and I'm going to reshuffle for several minutes, and then I'll turn it back on, and we will do your general. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Again, I've been shuffling for quite a while. This is going to be for Sagittarius, general energies for December 2015. One more. Okay. Sagittarius general reading for December 2015. King of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Nine of Cups, Star, Moon, the Eight of Pentacles, the Devil, again the Four of Cups in the exact same position, and your Eight of Swords. Okay. A lot of times the generals carry over concepts from the love readings. I'm getting a sense that this general reading is more about that disengagement that you're displaying, that disengagement, that disinterest in potential options for emotional fulfillment. And that's more the theme of this, is kind of your mental state or what's going on in your mind at this point in time. So I'm sensing a little bit of fear from you, a little bit of, like, in the center of your reading, you have your moon, which is right next to your star. And so you have your two celestial major arcana here, the star and the moon. And the star is your hopes and your dreams and your ideals and things coming true. But then your moon is that unknown territory, that dark path, that ominous, journey ahead of you, and you can't necessarily see your way through it. It's a little bit foggy. It's a little too dark. It's a little, it's scary. And there are things on this path, on this journey, that you've never experienced before. There are, unknown elements, things that you can't even begin to think about because you just don't know. And while you have your hopes and your dreams, and while you have your ideals and your ideas of the things that you should have, having those means a new type of journey that you've never been through before, a new type of life path that's very, very foreign to you. Now your energy in this is this time being represented by this King of Pentacles here. Again, a master of your kingdom, a someone that is very quality, someone that displays a lot of maybe practicality and methodology, very methodical, someone that has a lot of control over his life and his possessions and the things that he has, but not necessarily control over your mind. You may be very successful in life, but in terms of love and, in terms of your mental state right now, you might be feeling a little bit shaky or off ground. And the reason why I say that is because immediately following, you have your Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is that meeting of the minds. It's the, successful negotiations, successful communications, negotiating, finding that balance. Again, there's that word balance, for things that might feel unbalanced. And because it is a Cups card, and it is followed immediately by your Nine of Cups, I feel that might be something that you're seeking, is balance and fulfillment in that area. And it is something that you might be feeling is a little bit foreign to you, a little bit frustrating, because you might not have ever really had a commitment, or maybe never had moved into this new phase that you've never gone through before. If you're married and you've been in a relationship for a long time, maybe you're now talking about having kids, or you might be now talking about moving to a new place, or changing careers, or your partner might be changing careers. Or if you're single and you're looking for that relationship, it might be, or maybe not even looking for that relationship, but that a relationship will mean emotional fulfillment for you, but that is also scary in its own right. That is the unknown terrain. You have this idea, you have this ideal, you have this thing built up in your mind for what it should be, but yet it is still unknown to you. Now, I am seeing your Eight of Pentacles. You have your Eight of Pentacles and your Eight of Swords, so two eights directly in line with one another. And your Eight of Pentacles is that concept of putting your head down and going to work and continuing to produce, to continue doing what you're doing. What you're doing has proved fruitful for you. You have a lot to show for it. You have a lot of like earthly possessions. Financially you might be doing very, very well. And so this is something that you know. It's something that you feel comfortable doing. It's something you've done a million times. You can just keep doing it, and you know that it will reap some reward. However, there is that level of dissatisfaction again, that level of, like, yes, you've done it before. Yes, you've gone through it. Yes, you've been producing and you've been fruitful and you've made things happen for yourself. You are, after all, the King of Pentacles. You are, after all, building things, making things happen, and it is getting you to this level, to this stature, to this level of maturity. But for some reason, you are feeling like it's just not enough. There is just something missing. There is that element of passion that's missing. And the reason why I say passion is because that card is right next to the devil. The devil, the moon, and the stars, all very deep, dark, sort of mysterious types of energies. And the devil is kind of like that intense passion, or that level of almost kind of like a codependent type of energy. And I feel as though it's also a vice for you. You might be leaning on the way things are, the way things were, the way you've always done things, because that's something that you know, that is something that you can rely on, that's allowing you to, what's the word I'm trying to find? Not to have to admit to yourself that there is something more, there will be something more fruitful for you on the other side. It's sort of allowing yourself to pull yourself back. I don't usually interpret the devil that way, however, it seems fitting in this scenario. It is that vice, almost a level of an addiction, the way of life, the way you've been living your life, the way you've been doing things, is sort of your fallback. You're continuing to keep yourself chained to that thing that you know, to the thing that's familiar, to that thing that has always worked for you in the past, even though you might be craving this connection. You might be craving this level of emotional fulfillment, this initial meeting of the minds, this intellectual, mental, emotional connection that will bring you to this. This is the ideal. This is the hope and the dream, and this is the ambition, right? And yet this level of engagement, this level of disengagement, and this, doing things the way you've always done them before, the way that doing the things that have worked for you in the past to bring you to this level of where you are, even though you feel there might still be more out there for you. This mentality is even squaring up the Eight of Swords, this idea of your mental barriers. You are setting barriers around yourself, and that has a lot to do even with the Nine of Wands that we pulled in the last I believe it was, yeah, it was the Nine of Wands that we pulled in your last reading. And that is your frustrations, your barriers, your own mental roadblocks that you are putting in your own life. It is that blindfold. You know, you are being blind. You are blinding yourself. You are binding yourself. You know, you are tying yourself up to, again, you in here, you're chaining yourself up to the things that you know, the things that you're familiar with, and are somewhat unwilling to take the next step and to take this next challenge that's being displayed in front of you. Even though you know that this terrain, this dark, uncharted territory, is the pathway to fulfilling your hopes and your dreams, to fulfilling that one aspect of your life that might be still lacking, still unfulfilled, still feeling a little bit empty. But you're using the things that you know, you're using the things that you've done before as a vice, as a coping mechanism to not have to deal with that. Don't be scared. You're scared. Don't be scared. There's always light at the end. Those dark and ominous, journeys that we have ahead of us are usually the most rewarding. They're usually the ones that bring us to the highest level of satisfaction and happiness. That was a terrible shuffle. Keep doing more. Again, I have these giant cards. They're the giant Rider-Waite deck, and they're just a little bit difficult to shuffle because they're so big and can't really fit them in my hands. Again, another tarot. These cards don't want to be shuffled, so I'm going to do one more and then we'll draw. There we go. This makes perfect sense. Sometimes I'm so right, I scare myself. The Hierophant, that idea of conformity, to giving in to some level of institution, family, marriage, professional institution, something that is expected of us, something that is the next phase, the logical next step in life. And you are actively working against moving into that next phase, even though you might know in your mind, in your mind's eye, that it is the pathway to ultimate satisfaction, to ultimate happiness. You are actively fighting against it. You are actively setting up these roadblocks, and you're doing it, and you might even know you're doing it. You're blindfolding yourself. You're tying yourself up. You're surrounding yourself with thoughts and excuses and things that you know aren't necessarily what you really want. You're fighting against that level of conformity in society as we know it, and you are living your life. It's always worked for you, but for the first time, probably for the first time, it is finally starting to wear thin. It is finally starting to not be enough for you. But yet you cling to it, yet it is so familiar. It is what you know. It is the only thing you feel comfortable with. So you use it as a coping mechanism. You continue to do it. It is, becoming a bad habit almost. It is becoming that level of like, okay, enough is enough already. Enough is enough. Very interesting. Okay, that's it. I think I covered everything. So, okay, so that's it. So thank you again for watching. I'm so happy that you're here. I think this is going to be a really, really great month for a lot of people. There's a lot of mental stuff happening for most signs, a lot of those internal struggles, internal battles that we all kind of have to go through. So going through that and bringing in a new year, 2016 on the horizon, is a very exciting time, because we'll be able to go through this and deal with these issues and open the year, start the year fresh with a new, a new sense of opportunity and a new sense of looking at the world. So again, if you want a personal reading, I do put my contact information in the box down below, so be sure to reach out. I'm more than happy to do a reading for you. And yeah, I think that's everything. Stay tuned. I will be doing a year-long reading in the middle of December. I will be publishing that a few weeks before New Year's, and it will be a little bit more in-depth. Again, it will be for the full year, so it'll be very exciting. It'll be very fun, in addition to the actual just January readings for each sign as well. So thank you again, and I will hope to see you soon.